Welcome back to Inside Workforce Development. I'm Melinda Kelsey, and today's show is being sponsored by the Council on Developmental Disabilities. And joining me is Tommy Lee Kidd, who is the member on the council, and Kate Copeland. You're with the Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital here at Vanderbilt in Nashville. Thank you both so much for being here. This show is all about engaging individuals in finding employment opportunities for our Tennessee businesses and for any job seeker. And so that's why I think this show is so important, because it's an untapped talent of pool that we can engage and meet the needs of you as an employer. And so when you all got engaged in this, and I think I asked you that before, but was there a little reluctancy or maybe a little apprehension going into this, or was it an easy transition for you to move from what you were doing, non-traditional, more traditional to non-traditional? Tell me about that.
I think, we wanted to make sure that we were not only doing the right thing for the individual, but the right thing for our department. Right. And so with that, we were a little concerned that it might be a little too busy, a lot of different people going on that could be overwhelming. It's overwhelming to many people when they come into an emergency department. And so we really thought about that. And so I would encourage anybody who's considering or thinking of that, the success rate of that is to make sure that you have someone that can perform the job that you need them to do, and you spend the time that it takes to get them oriented and understanding and help them to understand what their role is within your work. So
their transition is the same as you would do anyone else, is that correct?
It is exactly the same as you would do with anybody else. And if we do that with every single person that we hire, we find that they're successful most of the time. And that's no different with individuals with disabilities or anyone.
So if an employer is looking, and I know sometimes there's like, I'm not real sure, how do I do this? There's liability. You all didn't even think about that at all. I mean, you just said this is the right thing to do. It's a win-win for Vanderbilt. It's a win-win for the individual.
That is correct. And finding someone who fits into your work environment and can do a skill set is important no matter where they are. And so that's kind of the stand that we took. It's the right thing to do, and it's been very successful.
I loved another piece of it that you talked about, their soft skills. I love that, because they are on time. They take their job very serious. Right. They don't take extra breaks. They're just there, and they're doing what they're supposed to do. I call it old school. It's old school work environment. Right. You get up and you go to work, and you work 8 hours. You put in 8 hours, or maybe 10. So that's a plus for any employer that would be looking or even considering hiring someone with a disability.
Right. Absolutely. Those are the basics for any successful job offer that you have, or you have someone who's working for you. And so they really do understand that. In fact, when our individual takes a day off, because everyone gets vacation, he comes back the next day knowing that he's going to have to work extra hard because we didn't do it as well as he did it.
You also told me that he got an award because of being maybe no absenteeism or whatever. That is unheard of anymore. So that's an accolade for him as well.
Right. He actually won a very coveted award at Vanderbilt called the Credo Award, and so it's given out and it's presented at a leadership assembly with over 700 leaders across the organization because he displays what we call our credo, and it's how you treat our patients, our families, and each other. And he won that award.
Wow. So that was just recent?
That was a couple of years ago.
And Tommy Lee, going back to you, it's very personal with you, with your daughter.
Yes. And
knowing that you have employers such as Vanderbilt or other employers that could join to make sure that your daughter is dependent now, because all children that are at home and 15, 16 years old, probably going on 25, are dependent on their parents to make sure that they have a sustainable life upon graduating. And so you're transitioning that for her, and that's very personal to you, is it not?
Abigail, Lisa and I want Abigail to have the same exact opportunities that all the other kids do. Yeah. We realize that Abigail will have to have help through her life, but she can be so productive for an employer. And we want her to be able to go to college one of these days with all of her friends. We want her to be able to be in the workforce and be a productive employee. I mentioned my wife has a beauty shop, and if Abigail's at the beauty shop when she's not getting her toenails done or her nails done.
Typical teenager.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
She is back in the back folding towels and washing towels. She loves to do laundry. She's washing towels, and that is a huge help to Lisa at the beauty shop. So we have the vision for Abigail to be able to not only be a productive employee for someone, but to be able to help pay some of her bills, to be able to actually pay taxes.
Just that independency
Exactly.
that they, absolutely.
Yes, that's our vision for Abigail. That's what we want for Abigail, to
Yeah.
be like anyone else.
And I think that most parents or most people that have a disability, and I really don't like that word. I think they
Right.
have talents and abilities that maybe we don't have.
Yes.
So to be able to encourage other people to join in and hire, give them a chance, give individuals a chance.
Exactly.
Someone took a chance on me. And someone took a chance on each of
Absolutely.
us, and so I don't think there's any difference in that. And it does fill a niche, I think, within our workforce system, because employers are always looking to hire responsible, dependable, creative people. And you certainly have exceeded in that area. And Vanderbilt is commended, should be commended on the efforts that you're doing to help everyone, not only children with traumatic injuries or whatever, but particularly those with disabilities. So, and I love what you're doing in your community, Tommy Lee. I think hopefully other communities will join in and follow suit. I think
you so much.
it takes one person can make a difference for sure.
Well, it's everybody working together.
Sure.
It's not Lisa, it's not I, it's not Abigail, it's everybody working together.
Yeah.
We have a very tight-knit community,
Yeah.
and that's, we would love for every small business employer in Tennessee to have at least one person with a disability working for them. They would find out that it is a very, very productive workplace, and they would have a very good employee.
I think
They
that's
went
a
that
great
route.
challenge to our Tennessee businesses.
Amen.
So,
Yes.
if you need to do a model, they can come to Lawrenceburg, and you certainly can pull
Yes.
that together and help
Yes,
do
ma'am.
that. So, we want to kind of follow up on Abigail's success as we continue doing our show,
Yes.
and maybe have her on the show sometime and just talk about her, talk with her, and let her be part of what it is that we're
She
doing.
loves the camera.
Most people run from it. So see, that's a skill set that a lot of people don't have. So, but anyway, getting back to Vanderbilt, do you see bringing on additional people with disabilities within your workforce in the future?
Yes, there's several different areas that could support individuals with disabilities.
Okay.
And you mentioned give them a chance. I think it's making a really good employment decision and a good hire. And I think if people kind of think about that and how they can support individuals with disabilities, they will find such an asset it is to them,
Yeah.
and not just taking a chance. It's a good business decision.
So if an employer's watching, and hopefully they are, or they're saying, what do I need to do this? And I call it a leap, not a leap of faith, it's a leap of trust that you have in what it is that you're doing. And it's just, I love it. I just love what you all are doing. It makes a difference every single day. So anything else, we're gonna take a break here in just a minute, but I want to make sure that we cover some other things before we go off. Any words of advice to an employer?
I think just that think about what roles that you have that someone with disabilities could help your work environment, and take the time to learn about them and what they can do for your business, and then take the time to really onboard them well, and so that everyone will be successful.
Yeah, that's good advice. Tommy Lee?
The example that I gave of Austin working before earlier in the segment, he has a passion about his job, and that's what people with disabilities can bring to the workforce, a passion. She tells me, his boss tells me, that when the line stops, Austin gets upset because things are stopping, and he's wondering why things are stopping. So the passion is there. They want to work. People with disabilities, and our council believes that Tennesseans with disabilities not only want to work, they can work,
Right.
and they can be productive
Right.
employees.
Absolutely. Well said. Hold that thought. We'll be right back right after this.